What's up, chess player? In this video, I'm gonna share with you how my dream just crashed completely. I collapsed here as white pieces against a pretty strong player, but rated just 22-22. The guy from my home country, from Ukraine, very strong one as it appeared to be. So I wanted to surprise him with a move b3, and I felt completely because what my opponent did, he just played the London. I mean, he just played the London as black pieces, and I hate this opening. I sincerely just hate it. I mean, that is, in my opinion, the most boring opening you have in chess, but when I have to fight against it, that is the most tough opening to fight against, because I have no idea how to beat it. I mean, I made this double fianchetto here, I even used some ideas how to try to break through, how Magnus Carlsen fights against it, but I failed so much. I played here the move c4, trying to put some pressure on the center, but how are you supposed to do it? Both of the pawns are protecting the d5 pawn rock solid. I mean, this bishop in f5 is controlling the whole diagonal. What can you do? That is so sad for me. I mean, I guess the London system should be banned officially in chess, both for white and black. Tell me in the comments what you think about this idea. I guess that's gonna be the best rule you can invent for chess. So I played here a3 with an interesting idea to play rook a2 and then queen a1 to double along this diagonal, and yeah, just try to invent something, because such a boring position. I have to be creative here. I have to at least do something interesting. And my opponent didn't care. He said, I'm gonna just develop all of my pieces. You can do your wars, but this position is so solid that you can never create any problems whatsoever. So I tried. I played rook to d1, at least put my rook against the queen. Bishop went back to h7. Both of the bishops are back. But there are no weaknesses. There is nothing to attack, literally absolutely nothing. And so I collapsed completely here in a few moves. Can you imagine? Like, if you want to draw as white in this position, probably you're gonna get it. I mean, you also don't really have any weaknesses. But if you want to win, you're absolutely busted. So I tried, I played h3 first, and I played knight e5. I just wanted to go forward. I changed the pair of knights, and I thought I'm doing it with a tempo, because I'm attacking the queen, at the same time I'm attacking the knight, so the queen has to go back to d8, and I thought that is kind of an achievement for me. I mean, this queen went to c7, now it's going back to d8. I might be able to use it, right? I mean, I have a very active bishop on e5, my bishop on g2 is opened, but yeah, it's still blocked. I mean, everything is great, but I don't have any ideas at all. What can I do? I can do absolutely nothing. And so knight f3 probably is a mistake, because I didn't really figure out what can I do in this position. That was the biggest problem. Bishop went back to c3, knight e5. That is already a first mistake. I mean, this position looks completely normal, no problems whatsoever. I just lost the game in literally 5 moves, and I was already finding myself in a very desperate situation. That's just impossible to imagine. So I played knight a5. The first mistake, a move going forward, seemingly active, but if you are fighting against the London, it doesn't work that way. You are going forward, you are trying to attack, you lose. So knight c5 has been played, immediately attacking my b3 pawn. I was expecting takes, I was expecting my opponent to try to exchange some pieces and, well, hope for a draw, but he was just going to crush me. I mean, he doesn't care about titles, ratings, he just wants to get the better out of me. So he played knight c5, I just protected the pawn with queen b2. Sadly, my rook is kind of passive there, because of course, well, the plan was somehow to put it on a more active file. Rook d8, well, just bringing another piece to the center here, and I played d4. I thought, well, I'm continuing trying to be active. Maybe I'm gonna play c5 and close the center. Maybe I'm gonna do something else. I mean, it's London, you don't have many ideas. Knight e4, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna play bishop e1. I'm gonna potentially go f3 and just push this knight away, and everything's gonna be great. But suddenly, my opponent is attacking me. I mean, he's playing a4, putting so much pressure on my pawn structure. What am I supposed to do? It's already a very difficult situation. I took it on a4, and my idea was, after takes, to play a5 so that my pawn is protected. I'm gonna just take this pawn on c4 back, and finally I'm gonna get something. But it's London. It never works that way. So here, white is absolutely busted due to queen takes e5, and you can resign because takes, well, you get a knight and a rook for the queen. And how are you gonna save this bishop? The bishop is pinned, the bishop is under attack. You cannot protect it with the queen. If you try to protect it with the king, then just c3. I mean, everybody is coming your way. You cannot go this way because of this bishop, which is just waiting for you there, some knight g3 or knight d2, and the game is over. And if you go to b3 trying to attack, seems okay, right? But rook b1, I mean, that is such a painful game for me, and talking about it, remembering it is very tough. But I'm doing it for you guys so you can learn from my mistakes and never, I mean, if the guy plays London against you, just, I don't know, stop the clock, tell him he's a cheater. I mean, you cannot do that. That is not humanly. So I cannot play a4. I have to take on c4, but then rook takes a4. I have this weakness. My knight is hanging. Everything is horrible suddenly. b5 is coming. I played rook c1, and I thought I'm quite smart here. I'm putting some pressure against the queen and the knight and whatever. But my opponent is playing b5, not afraid of anything. He's calculating tactics like a real machine here, because I thought I'm gonna play knight e5, I'm gonna put so much pressure on this c6 pawn, but he just doesn't care. He plays rook takes d4 and says, thank you very much for the pawn. You cannot take my pawn on c6, because if you take with the rook, then the knight is hanging. If you take with the knight, which of course was my idea to just fork those rooks, well, face the truth, rook d1, you're absolutely collapsed here. You must resign in one move, because the knight is hanging, everything is hanging, the bishop here, I mean, that is just horrible. So what happened here? I played e3, realizing that I have just completely misplayed the entire sequence of moves here, but it's not even the worst thing. Now after rook d1, I mean, this knight is in trouble, the rook is in trouble. I played rook a1, and now my opponent has done something beautiful. So yeah, stop the video for a second, try to find it, because this move is literally something incredible. Okay, I really hope you found it. Actually, there are two moves that are completely winning here. Rook takes e1 is probably the simplest thing, but what my opponent did is rook 8 to d2, bam! And there is absolutely no chance for me to fight. I mean, I have completely missed that. And now rook takes e1, it's a brilliant move according to chess.com. I mean, he's just taking the knight on e5 back, and now he has two pieces for the rook, and he controls absolutely everything on the entire board. I mean, I played rook a2, after knight c5, I don't even have a single square for my queen. I mean, I'm either losing the rook or I'm losing the queen, because my idea was queen b1, at least protect the rook and maybe hope for something. This pawn on c6 is kind of weak, until I suddenly realized after queen b5 and b1, my opponent's gonna play bishop b1. And I was like, come on, I just lost everything. And remember, I'm playing as white, I'm playing against low-rated player, so this whole situation, I'm losing like, I don't know, 10 points in this game. I mean, that was such a nightmare for me, but I'm sharing it with you once again so you can take the most out of it and never repeat my mistakes, never play against the London. So in this video, I'm sharing with you the round number 2, a very complicated game. If you want to improve your endgame technique, that is the best video you can take a look next.